Success dictates so much about how we view ourselves, right? To me, success is the same as beauty. It's in the eye of the beholder. Whenever you succeed, we do try to compare that to what society looks at us and says, oh man, if you do it like this, you're successful. If you do it like this, you're going to be successful. If you follow this plan, you're going to be successful. So we get it in our minds that if we follow this timeline, if we follow this pattern of choices, if we do like somebody else, we're going to get success, right? In reality, though, everybody's success is so different. And if we look at it through somebody else's lens and we try to compare what we do in our life, it creates just a horrible environment, right? That's all it does, man. It creates an environment of you comparing yourself to somebody else every day. And we sit here and we say, well, what is success? Listen, success itself, there's two parts to this. Success itself is something that we all want to achieve. We all want to feel better. We all want to feel like we did something, right? So you go to school, for me, 9 years of college, man, multiple different degrees, working multiple jobs, trying to put myself where I should be, trying to articulate my craft, trying to sharpen it, trying to make sure that I'm at the top of everything that I do within the scope that I can, and I try to advance it. When I'm taking care of patients, I sit there and say, well, what if it was my mom? What if she was getting taken care of, right? So when I do that, I think to myself, well, I don't ever want to know less than whoever is taking care of my family. The only way I know how to do that is to work 1,000 places, get the most experience I can, read, watch videos, right? I'm sharpening my craft. Everything I do is successful in my career. When I played football, I continued to become athletic, more athletic, train harder, do everything that I thought was what I was supposed to do to create this athletic ability, okay, and apply it to a sport that wasn't permanent, right? We know that. We're not playing in the NFL. We're not playing at D1 college making a bunch of money. You do it because you love it and the passion you have. Same with your job. You have a passion for what you do and you will excel so much farther than somebody else will, right? So you sit here and I say to myself, well, I'm training every day, training my body, I'm training my mind with my job, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do. So the way you view your success is, well, am I at the top? Am I the tip of the spear? You're never really there because there is always somebody better and you want to achieve more. What happens though is you lose sight of your love for it because you're chasing success at such a rate that you start to degrade everything else around you. This is so important when it comes to the idea of, is success worth it? It depends on what you view as success. Like I said, it's in the eye of the beholder, just like beauty, right? Let's say I go and I work all these jobs and I'm doing all these amazing things and I'm saving 1,000 lives, or at least the illusion that I am, right? The illusion I'm saving lives. If you have faith in the man above, he gives you tools to do what you can. And if that person's alive, they're alive. At the end of a code or doing CPR on somebody, if they're alive, hopefully I feel that, maybe it was my skills. Maybe it was the man above, right? But I want to be the most successful, so I work the hardest at that specific piece to sharpen that, to make myself better, to think better under stress, to think better in that regard, right? And I know that as my career field, I want to be the best. I want to be able to walk around knowing that I'm the best, not to stroke an ego, but I never want a patient to come into a facility and ever second guess that the person that's taking care of them isn't at the top, doesn't know the most, will not produce the outcome that they really deserve, right? But when you're looking at that success and you're looking at how you drive to be successful, the route you drive to get to that destination of success, that is where all the hard work is. But you also lose things along the way. When you lose sight of what made you want to be successful at that craft, you start to lose sight of yourself. If you try to succeed to such a high level and you are truly obsessed with the success, which can be a good thing. Again, depends on the person. But if you sit there and you push yourself harder than anybody else to be the most successful, you are obsessed at being the top of your career, the top of whatever it is that you want to be the best at. If you push the hardest ever, where you have no way of looking back, you will realize that you start to lose so many things around you. You do, man. You lose everything. As you chase success at the highest level, you will start to lose everything because you're putting it all in one basket. I want to be the most successful provider of healthcare that I can within my scope, and I want to be the absolute best. And I believe the only way that that becomes for me to be the best is to work at 1,000 different facilities, to travel to all these places, take care of all these patients, right? In my mind, that's what I believe. But what I started to do was lose everything that was good. When you came home, who are you coming home to? You're coming home to yourself. And if you do come home to a family, you're not treating them like your family. You're treating them like they're just side pieces. You're treating them like they're just luggage, just a handbag, something that you carry around, but man, it's heavy, I'm gonna put it back down, right? That's what you treat everybody like, because you've spent so much time trying to succeed at something that you think you have to do. Yes, at times there are people who have to be successful at that. And it's a shame that it's so hard to find people that can still be supportive when you're chasing your dreams, as long as you are doing what is needed to be done to help that support system, right? Don't be selfish and don't be egotistical to sit here and say, well, I'm the best of the best at what I do. You should just be there. You should just be around. You can only do that so long. You can only show empty feelings, empty love, empty friendship, all of that for so long until somebody says, I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm done. I'm leaving. It's over. I can't do this anymore. And that's how it is. In your mind, ego takes over because success drives the ego drives success. However you want to view it, right? It does. As you get super successful, you just believe that you can do everything. You believe that this is where it is. Ego takes over and you just, everything else, man. Everything. If it's not that, you're not dealing with it. And that's a poor way to be. That is what right there will get you to realize that success wasn't worth it. You can still be as successful as you need to be if you create success at home as well. If you have a family and you have little kids, come on, man, they deserve the same amount of time that you can give them during the time that you can. As long as it's not taken away from something that you need to do to support them, to bring them the best health, whatever, right? But you need to give time to everything else too. You have to. Success is always going to be there. If you keep working at it, you will continue to make the steps to be successful. But when you think you're getting to the top and your ego takes over, that's when everything else down here destroys it, and it will destroy your success. And then you have to look at it. Success. How is it really viewed? If you have a good job, a good career, and you're doing all these things, but you come home and you're empty every day. You ain't got friends. You ain't got a significant other. Maybe you don't even have family. What do you have? A career? Come on, man. I get it. We all need to be the best of the best. But you're neglecting things at home and all that's gone and now you're lonely. Your career means nothing. Because guess what? Your career ends. Your career ends. You will hit a point to where you can't do it anymore. And then you got to sit there, you got to swallow your ego and say, all right, what do I have left? What do I do now? You have a bunch to do, but you neglected it all. So now it's gone. So now you have nothing. Your children, your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren, they would be the ones to talk about you that your memory never dies. And maybe you don't care, but you should. You want to outlive the body and all of that? Memories. what you create and the memories that are left over, the legacy that is left over, and your child or your family, that's legacy. Things that are written down, they can be beaten. You set a record, it can be beaten. Them children, man, a family, you come home to something that you truly love, nobody can beat that, man. It's not a record. It just is what it is. Don't neglect things that you have at home because you're chasing something that you think you have to do. You have to neglect your family to get that. You don't. You don't. You can still be the tip of a spear while sitting here with them. They're the handle that your tip of the spear goes on, right? Without that, you have nothing. That basis of them to create that support system beneath you helps excel you at such a high degree, but your ego takes over and makes you think that it's only you, it's not them. It is. That support system is something that every person needs. Don't give it up, don't neglect it, and if you are that support system, never neglect the person you're supporting. Understand that it's a team. Success in a relationship, success in a marriage, and success in a family is built as a team. Believe in it. Go through the depths. And just understand that success is in the eye of the beholder, just like beauty. Understand what you want to be in life and go after it, but don't neglect what can create forever. Stay up.